It's extraordinary to be on the air for 25 years. When you think about it, on commercial television, to be on the air for 25 weeks is a big deal. We've produced about 400 hours of programming. So 25 years is really quite an accomplishment. This year, Nature celebrates its silver anniversary with the best of nature. One of the plans I had was to start the show with these incredible and dramatic images of African big cats hunting. There's nothing more exciting. I never get tired of it. It's beautiful to watch. It's incredibly suspenseful, and I thought that would be a great way to launch into this show. Watching cheetahs run at speed sometimes 60 miles an hour is just extraordinary. What makes a good natural history filmmaker? Well, first and foremost is passion. You really need to be passionate about the subject you're trying to film, because this is very difficult, frustrating, and strenuous work.
The flower in the tree and Phil on the ground are bathed in a light visible only to our cameras.
You're out in all sorts of weather. You're waiting, and most of the time you're not even filming. You don't even have the camera turned on. But when you get it right, it's magic, and nobody even notices your work, and they're just absorbed by the behavior.
But 8 hours into his stakeout, all his efforts are about to pay off.
Oh, there it is. Look at the tongue's coming out, man. Amazing, look at that. There it goes. It's trying to find the opening. There it goes, it's in.
When you're putting a best of show together, the bar is raised so high. What's good enough, what isn't, what goes in and what doesn't.
Yahoo!
In the end, I had these qualifications. One, it had to be an excerpt from the film. I couldn't manufacture the scene from the entire film. I also wanted to touch on all the various behaviors we have shown in our films: mating, courtship, raising young, even our relationship with animals.
Most jungle researchers can't get near their subjects, but mannequins are positively jumping to be noticed.
They kind of show off. That's actually what their whole life is about, is showing off what they can do so that the females can be impressed and also mate with them. Right there, we just heard a male doing a little bit of a courtship display.
I also wanted it to be memorable. I wanted the scenes to be things you would think about and talk about the next day.
So, first thing you do is you're sitting on your perch and click, you fly away. Once you're out there, you come swooping in, do a loop-de-loo in the air, land on the perch, and at the end of that, what the males do is they lean over, lift up their tail, quiver the tail slightly, and nail their feathers against their sides. And now you're going to do a moonwalk, and this is the only known case of birds moonwalking to my knowledge. But they basically do these little steps backwards, and it looks like a Michael Jackson slide. It's very nice.
Probably the most controversial scene we have in the show is from a film called Cloud, Wild Stallion of the Rockies, which was a very popular film. And the scene we chose to put in the show is a disturbing scene, and we understood that, but this was an example of never-before-seen behavior.
A new foal is trying to stand for the first time. Try as it will, the little foal's back legs just don't seem to work. That's when another band moves into the meadow, led by the husky stallion, Looking Glass. Boomer's little band moves away. and the foal tries, but cannot follow. Looking Glass's lead mare notices something in the grass. She seems to encourage the foal, while Boomer's band looks on. Then Looking Glass approaches, and I was shocked at what happened next. The mares try to stop him. Boomer charges in, but it's too late.
When the show aired, we got a lot of emails and letters why we did this, why we allowed it to even happen. And of course, in nature shows, you cannot interfere with nature. You can observe and document, but you can't interfere. With all we know about nature, there are still so many things we don't know, and so many things that are new to us and new to science. And this really was an example of different, unexpected behavior, and just helps in our knowledge of understanding horses. And that's why we included it. There are so many challenges to finding and filming wildlife, but nothing really compares to trying to do that job underwater for obvious reasons. You just have limited time, limited movement, limited communication. But over the years, technology has gotten better and allowed us to do our jobs even better. What helped us in this scene was the fact that we had microphones in the scuba masks. And so the two cameramen, Bob Cranston and Howard Hall, were able to get into position. When Bob first saw this behavior, he was able to call to Howard to get him to come over as well to shoot this scene. This scene didn't make our retrospective, but it shows how brutal nature can be.
A swarm of male white-tipped sharks were attacking a single exhausted female. It's one of the most violent courtships in the animal kingdom.
There was never any doubt in my mind what would be the final scene in our retrospective, and that is the surprising and dramatic story of two elephants, Jenny and Shirley, at a sanctuary in Tennessee. These two elephants first met 20 years ago in a circus and were then separated. And when they finally met up at a sanctuary in Tennessee, they just bonded. They never forgot each other, and they were with each other, inseparable for the time they spent together. When we finished our retrospective, a couple of months afterwards, we found out that Jenny, the younger elephant, died from an undiagnosed illness. But Shirley was with her, at her side in those final days. How could we not be curious about other living creatures? I think as the debate continues about the welfare of our planet, I think our films become even more important.
Major funding for nature is provided by Canon and by the 36 mile per gallon Ford Escape Hybrid.